Binance is shutting down all USD withdrawals in just 2 days. I want to talk about this, talk about what's happening in the market right now. We have some interesting things that have come out over the last day or last few days, which I want to cover. We're looking at Tesla stock as well. It's up over 3% here today on some good news, actually a few pieces of news. And we have large investors continuously buying more crypto, and we have the numbers to back it up. So if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button underneath the video in case you haven't already subscribed to the channel so you can see future videos. That's great. If you are subscribed already, turn on that bell notification so you know right when I post a video. Also want to thank PrimeXBT, but we'll talk more about that later. Now, crypto came down a little bit over the weekend. Now it's up a little bit as well. You can see actually we were in this ascending channel here, and then we broke below it yesterday. But when you look, we can actually form a new ascending channel here, and it almost is right on the money, hitting all these different bottoms. So still in a pattern that's pretty bullish. If we break down to the downside, obviously the next barrier that we would have to pass, or the next support, is around 22,500. We hit that a few times, and then from there we could go down to 22,000, but looks like we're holding up pretty well, back around 23,000 right now. Now the overall stock market as well is down a little bit here today because of the job report that was released last Friday. You can see now that the 10-year treasury and the 2-year treasury, pretty much all treasuries, are moving up pretty substantially here. The DXY is moving up as well. The market is really pricing in the fact that the jobs report might cause the Fed to have to raise rates a little bit more aggressively than they were just saying last week, and that we might have more rate hikes to come as well. So right now, that's what the market's trying to price in. However, I think this might be overblown a bit. Last week, Jerome Powell, when asked about the economy, said that the economy is still strong. We still have a good jobs market. It's very tight, but inflation's coming down, and that's really the important thing. He didn't seem as worried about a really robust jobs report or a really robust jobs market as he was just excited that inflation was coming down. Now, of course, he's not too excited. You can't show that, but he didn't really seem too concerned, saying that if jobs continue to come in really strong, that we would have to start raising rates more aggressively. That's not exactly what he said. He did say that they're going to take in all the information. So at this point, I think as long as CPI continues to come in low or come in as expected, I think that we should see the market return to that kind of bullish stance that we were at just a few days ago, that bullish momentum. Especially when you look at some of the other news that's coming in. Almost 2/3 of Americans live paycheck to paycheck in 2022, jumping up from 42% 1 year earlier. So basically a 25% increase to the amount of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. This is just coming from CNBC this morning. Really shows that they can't afford to continue to raise rates so aggressively. And now Jim Cramer has pretty much cemented the fact that we won't have a recession. He just said a recession is coming no matter what. So there's still a question over whether we're in recession right now. In my opinion, I don't think that we're necessarily in recession if this is as bad as it gets. Of course, we have seen layoffs, but it's mostly high tech or just tech layoffs in general. I was talking to someone last week that was in tech, and he said basically these people shouldn't have that hard of a time trying to find more jobs. They just won't be at some of the major tech companies. They'll find maybe mom and pop shops or different companies that haven't been able to get those high paid engineers, and they'll be able to get jobs there. So at this point, we have severe inflation, but a recession isn't quite clear if it's here or not. Now, if you want to take advantage of some of these crazy times in the market and some of these big pumps, you could do something like leverage trading to be able to spread your money a lot further. Now, of course, there's a lot of risk that comes with this, and you have to know what you're doing, but PrimeXBT is a great place to do it, and there are links underneath the video. They have some promo codes just for you as well. But you can see you can pull up 4 different charts at one time. So if I want to look at Bitcoin versus USD, Ethereum versus USD, and then I want to look at the Ethereum versus BTC chart, and I also want to pull up Matic, I can do it all at one time, which is very useful when the market's moving very quickly if you want to do some short-term trades. They have so many trading pairs, it makes it really easy to trade in between them. Now, PrimeXBT has set us up with different promo codes, so you can actually get $50 just when you sign up using my link underneath the video. Go to promo codes here on the left side and then copy and paste the promo codes in. Just try one at a time because someone might have gotten the first one, and you'll get $50 towards your account. Special thanks to PrimeXBT for sponsoring that part of the video. Now, of course, I'm not telling you what to do, but in case you can't open PrimeXBT here in the US, some people do use VPNs. Over the weekend, I posted a video on the All In podcast and responded to something that Chamath Palihapitiya said, basically claiming that a lot of large investors or hedge fund managers were not risk on enough. They saw Jerome Powell speak last week and they were kind of upset because they hadn't had enough long positions. They weren't ready for this market turn, and now they're going to be forced buyers. And you kind of see that in crypto. Over the last few weeks, we've had large inflows. Last week, we saw over $100 million coming into Bitcoin in 1 week. Now we see $68.5 million going into Bitcoin, a little bit going into ETH, not too much, and then some coming on multi-asset, some going into short Bitcoin, of course, because there are people that, as Bitcoin goes up, they want to short it. But overall, an inflow of $75 million in 1 week, quite positive, mostly coming from Canada, Germany, and the US, US leading the way. It just shows that there's still this risk appetite and that institutions are still buying up crypto. I also wanted to cover Tesla because it's up basically 3% here today on a lot of good news. First of all, we've been seeing Model Y and Model 3 inventory falling. This is in the US, and it's continuously falling. We can see the same thing in Europe, showing a demand, and some people think we're actually going to have to start raising prices again. And this is after we got news last week that all the Model Ys are now in the $80,000 category for the EV tax incentive, so they can start raising prices. We also got some price target increases from RBC Capital and Webull here today, which excites the market. Last night, Elon Musk said the last 3 months were extremely tough as we had to save Twitter from bankruptcy while fulfilling essential Tesla and SpaceX duties. Twitter still has challenges, but now is trending to break even if we keep at it. Obviously, that's really positive if investors were worried about Elon Musk's time or the possibility of Twitter basically crumbling down and then causing Elon to have to sell more shares or something like that to fund it. If they are break even, that means selling pressure continues to decrease for Elon Musk in terms of Tesla shares, which excites a lot of investors. Also means that maybe they're closer to appointing another CEO. He hasn't spoken on that, but I'm sure that they're in talks with a handful of people. Elon Musk also was found not guilty over the Tesla 420 funding secured tweet, and this was last Friday night. So now the market is kind of pricing this in. Keep in mind that, yes, we're up 3%. That's a good day, but I think we'd be up a lot more if the NASDAQ wasn't down. This is a red day overall, but yet Tesla's still outperforming because of all this good news coming in. Now, I did want to cover something that's maybe not quite so positive. Binance is going to suspend USD deposits and withdrawals on February 8th. Now, this is supposedly exactly what they say. We are writing to inform you that we're suspending USD withdrawals and deposits at 2200 hours on the 8th of February 2023. After this time, the USD withdrawal function will be temporarily disabled and deposits into Binance USD accounts will be rejected and returned to sender. Importantly, all balances and other platform functions are unimpacted. A lot of people probably nervous about this. A lot of people curious what this actually means for them. Now, they've been talking about this for a while, that this might be a possibility. They basically had to get a new banking partner to facilitate USD transfers, and they haven't been able to do that in time. So at this time, they have to suspend USD deposits and withdrawals. Now, I don't believe this actually affects Binance US. I haven't heard anything from Binance US, and I do have an account there, and they haven't said anything about Binance US. It's just been Binance. I'm assuming Binance US is a little bit more regulated, so it might be easier to get these kinds of banking partners. Now, I don't think that this is necessarily a major red flag. I think this has been pretty obvious that this might be a concern for a few weeks, and it's not that the company itself is going bankrupt or anything like that, or that they're a Ponzi scheme like FTX, but I think that they just weren't able to set this up in time. Now, if it was me, I would probably withdraw, but you have to make your own decision. I would just withdraw beforehand because it's not that they don't have the money, it's that they can't actually do it without this new banking partner. So I would withdraw all the cash I have into my account, try to put your cash into other accounts, or if you want to, you could load up your account with cash if you wanted to buy the coming dips, if there are any dips. So just plan ahead, plan accordingly, make sure that you're okay with the risk, and you can still probably get your money out from other exchanges. Maybe if you want to transfer it over to something like Coinbase and then do a withdrawal there, it might take some time, but there are different ways to get around it. Just keep that in mind. And like I said, plan accordingly so that you have all your ducks in a row in case something happens in the market. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Not what you want to see from Binance, but I don't think it's as bad as some people think. Elon and Tesla obviously making a lot of great strides this week, outperforming the market, and money continues to fly into cryptocurrency. Even though the market's trending down right now, I think it's just repricing in the short term, the good jobs report, but I think we'll make it through just okay. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Check out PrimeXBT underneath the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.